call me a god. You call me a god. You call me a god. You call me a god.
Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine.
Good afternoon and welcome to Premier League Live for this Saturday lunchtime kickoff at the King Power Stadium as Leicester City sitting in the relegation zone. A win would take them out of the bottom three today against an Arsenal side looking to put pressure on the league leaders Liverpool, who extended their lead to 7 points in that Merseyside derby win on Wednesday night. Arsenal's time to respond before Liverpool play tomorrow, looking to respond to what happens today. It is yo-yo at the top and at the bottom at the moment, and we'll see which way it will look come the end of this game this afternoon. A Leicester City side who really haven't been in great form, but look more impressive in that FA Cup tie against Manchester United that they lost 2-1 at Old Trafford 8 days ago. But Arsenal have had a good week, a good little break away in a hot country, and the last time they did that last season, they won 16 of the last 18 league games. Can they do it again in its chance to try and topple Liverpool in this Premier League title race? We will see. On this day, 5 years ago, Liverpool were 25 points clear at the top of the Premier League table. Today they sit 7, but it could be as low as 4 come the day's end. Let's have a look at the two teams then, as we start with the home side and Ruud van Nistelrooy's team. Mats Hermansen starts in goal. A back four of James Justin, Wout Faes, Callum McCauley and Victor Christensen returning in defence. Wilfred Ndidi and Boubakary Soumare are in midfield. Mohamed El Khanous is in the 10. Bobby De Cordova-Reid is on the right. Jordan Ayew off the left. And captain Jimmy Vardy leads the line. On the bench for the Foxes, Stolarsik, Koulibaly, Cody, Vestergaard, Winks, Skip, Buenanotte, Mavididi and Patson Daka. For the second place team in the league and the team looking to chase the league leaders, Arsenal, David Raya starts in goal. A back four of Urian Timber, William Saliba, Gabriel and Miles Lewis-Skelly. Thomas Partey and Declan Rice are joined alongside Martin Odegaard, the captain, in midfield, with Raheem Sterling, Ethan Nwaneri and Leandro Trossard, a front three not known to Arsenal fans, but it is necessary at the moment. There are only 3 fit senior forwards in the Arsenal squad. A lot of injuries in that forward position, and it's need must for Mikel Arteta's front line. On the bench for the Gunners, Neto, Calafiori, Zinchenko, Tierney, Kivior, White, who returns from injury, Ben White, Jorginho, Mikel Merino and Butler Oyedeji. It's blue v red, it's Leicester v Arsenal. It's this lunchtime kickoff in the Premier League, and Arsenal looking to chase the league leaders, but Leicester, they're chasing safety. Kickoff at the King Power Stadium is next. Good afternoon, welcome to Premier League Live this Saturday lunchtime here on LFS as we kick off your Premier League weekends with a great tie in the Midlands, in Leicester, looking for what will be an exciting game this lunchtime. A Leicester City side, as I said, sit in the bottom 3, looking for safety, but Arsenal have more important matters on their mind as well as they look to keep the gap and close the gap on league leaders Liverpool after they failed to make it 3 points out of their game in hand, and just a singular point, but a 7-point gap is better than a 6-point gap in anybody's books. We will see if Arsenal can close that to 4 before Liverpool play tomorrow, of course, in their home game against Wolves at Anfield. Already this weekend, Brighton have beaten Chelsea by 3-0. The second defeat of Chelsea for Brighton in a matter of days after they knocked them out of the FA Cup as well. Last Saturday, 6 days later, they beat them in the Premier League. We're ready to get underway here any second now as the players line up. The referee Sam Barrett, and Arsenal will get us going. They kick from right to left in the first half. And Leicester from left to right in the first half here at the KP. Well, the King Power Stadium, or even against Leicester at any game, has been happy for Arsenal over the last number of years. They've won all of their last 6 meetings against Leicester, dating back to October 2020, when Leicester won 1-0 at the Emirates. It is a pretty good run of form for the Gunners against today's opponents, but a lot more on the line today than maybe there has been in those past meetings. As the nice ball here to Ayew, couldn't keep it in play. Does keep it in play actually, according to the officials, and it goes for a goal kick eventually there in the end. Leicester looking for a quick start. See it there, Jordan Ayew, did he keep it in? Seemed to have just kept it in, but as he tried to cross it, it was just going wide anyway, so it didn't matter if he'd kept it in or not. Well, there's no doubting that Arsenal are relying upon youngsters at the moment, like some Miles Lewis-Skelly in the side, who's really impressed since coming into the Arsenal team, the youngster. It doesn't look out of place whatsoever at left back for the visitors today. There's no doubting the fact that youngsters have probably been the main kind of calling card for Mikel Merino for a lot of his time here at Arsenal, and you know, they've massively improved. I mean, you talk about Saka, Martinelli, Emile Smith-Rowe for a number of years as well, amongst a lot of others. Miles Lewis-Skelly, the latest on that list, along with Ethan Nwaneri, who are both starting this afternoon. As I said, needs must for Arsenal, especially in the forward line at the moment, with injuries hurtling its way through the club. Sterling back to Gabriel, trying to lift it back to Sterling, but Justin there to keep it calm at the back. Not able to keep the possession there was El Khanous. Partey forces the ball through the lines, allowing Leicester to recover. Nice little ball movements. Boukary Samari, lovely work, finds Christensen down the left. Good movement from Leicester in between the lines there. And Christensen not in a hurry, will just recycle it back to his defenders. It was really nice football in between the lines there from Leicester. And we'll talk about that. We'll really extrapolate what Leicester are at the minute under Ruud van Nistelrooy. It's been a struggle. It's been a bit tough for them since he came into the side, but really, to be honest, what were the expectations for Leicester this season? Probably just staying in the league is what they want and what they need, really, for a football club like this. A Premier League winner in Leicester, of course, won it back in 2016, but, you know, expectations go up a lot higher for the rest of the history of this club because of that Premier League title win. And the expectation, at the very least this season, is trying to stay in the Premier League and keep their Premier League status after they were really impressive for a number of years, Leicester, in the Premier League. A few years after that Premier League win, and they won the FA Cup under Brendan Rodgers. They had a really good run under Brendan Rodgers, but they were in Europe for a lot of that time as well. Very different Leicester side at this moment in time. Sterling infield to Lewis-Skelly, but well closed out there by the Leicester midfield. Vardy nips in, tries to hold up the ball, but that's well won back by Partey. Good pressure from Arsenal. Timber. Odegaard breaking down the right side, trying to find Timber in the box again. Just overhit the pass there, the Arsenal captain. Goal kick to Leicester. Well, of course, Arsenal, off the back of that defeat in the Carabao Cup, was their last game, actually, 10 days ago, when they went to Newcastle hoping for a comeback and ended up getting absolutely pasted in both legs in that Carabao Cup semi-final. They now come with a reset of trying to refocus on the league and the Champions League, of course, which will arrive for Arsenal in the next couple of weeks for them to play those round of 16 games. But the league is their main focus, at least for now, for the next couple of days and weeks. And it's all about chasing Liverpool down. A Liverpool side that are preoccupied probably with a Carabao Cup final on the horizon and the Champions League returning. There is a lot on the plate of Liverpool at the moment, a little less so on the plate of Arsenal at this moment in time, although both sides are now out of the FA Cup at this stage of the season. That's the fine margins it could come down to in a title race. You know, we've said it so many times. I mean, Arsenal, the last two seasons, have become ever so close. I mean, they were a good distance off the first year they went. In the end, they kind of fell away at the end, but they were just a point behind City. They took it to the final day last season, and They just couldn't get over the hump with City just doing enough. But we know it's going to be tight. We know it's tight at the top. And we don't expect either of these two sides to be hitting record-breaking numbers in terms of points tallies this season. I mean, mid to high 80s is the expectation of where the title winners will be. Both sides now in the 50s, both Arsenal and Liverpool. Still a long way of the season to go. That's good battling there by Ndidi, but couldn't win the ball for love nor money off the Arsenal midfield there. That's lovely play. Down the left side comes Sterling. Bricks into the box past Justin. Sterling plays it on to Lewis Skelly, who chips it to the back post, but no one there in red to recover and retrieve, and Jordan Ayew tracking back and just get it as far away from goal as possible. Again, that was really good hold-up play by Ethan Nwaneri. You know, there was a couple of Leicester players trying to battle him, and they just couldn't get the ball. Really good ball play and ball control from Ethan Nwaneri, the youngster, 17 years old. Ethan Nwaneri scored in that Manchester City game. 5-1, Arsenal won. He scored the 5th. Partey hits his own man. Leicester able to retrieve the ball from that position. Sumari. Ayew gives it back to Caleb Okoli. Fast just gives it back to Hermansen. One thing I definitely said about Leicester against Manchester United was their just ability to be composed on the ball. And, you know, Arsenal, a very different test than Manchester United. No disrespect, but it's quite obvious. Of course they are. And that's where Leicester will need to be at their best today, as Sterling went down wanting a foul. Not going to get one as James Justin comes away with the ball here for Leicester. He's got space to roam. Arsenal players don't want to engage at the moment, and Justin tried to thread it through. Well spotted by Gabriel. And now Trossard puts his man off. Gabriel feeds it down the left for Sterling. And just gives it back in the midfield by Rice. Yeah, the Arsenal players weren't looking to engage there, but in the end it actually worked out well for them. And the fact that the through ball from James Justin just hit Gabriel. Here's Nwaneri trying to cut it back. Coley clears it away. Picked up by Odegaard, told to shoot. Will chip it over the top, and Trossard tries to direct it past Hermansen, but Mads Hermansen had control. Not much pace really on the effort there from Leandro Trossard. Again, it's good work from Martin Odegaard. You think he's going to shoot. He drags the Leicester players out, and no one's really watching the run of Trossard in behind. Completely unmarked. Lovely chip ball over the top. And Trossard just, I think he might have been just offside anyway, even if it had to find the back of the net, but he couldn't really find the pace on the ball to take it past the Leicester keeper. That was a simple enough catch for the Dane. So far, a little bit of fluidity about the Arsenal attack so far. All three of their front three have been involved in their attacking moves up to this point. It's nice diagonal play. Vertical play from Leicester, I should say. So here's Jordan Ayew down the left-hand side. Bodies flooding forward. Ayew rolls it on for Sumari. Cuts it back. Headed away by Rice. Not fully cleared. And Ndidi! Straight at the goalkeeper. Really nice play by Leicester. Fabulous. Down that left-hand side. Ayew plays it on for Sumari, who was onside. Cuts it back. Rice tries to head it clear, but on the adjust, it falls sweetly for Wilfred Ndidi to take on the volley. And he hits it clean and true. And it just bounces right in front of David Araya, who could gather. But that was a decent effort. A decent bit of play from Leicester down that left-hand side. And all started with a bit of vertical play. They weren't afraid to pump a pass right forward. As Caleb Okoli played it right into Jamie Vardy's path. About 20, 30, 40 yards between the two players. And that's the type of risks that Leicester would need to take to try and break this Arsenal press. And certainly find their way through this Arsenal side, who have one of the best defences in the league. 22 goals conceded, the least of any Premier League side this season. Liverpool have conceded 23. And the only other team close to that at this moment in time is Forest in third on 27 goals conceded. Leicester themselves have conceded 53 goals in their 24 previous Premier League games. That's more than 2 a game on average this season, and they have scored exactly 25, so that's just over 1 per game before today's fixture. There's Waneri tried to play it onto Timber. Timber run out of room. It'll just be a Leicester throw on that far side. And the man who had Leicester's first chance, Wilfred Ndidi, only returned actually to the Leicester starting 11 in that FA Cup defeat to Manchester United, and he heavily impressed in that game. I think he was one of the main reasons why Leicester did so well in that game against United, was that control in midfield and that ability to play those kind of defence splitting passes. That's a lovely ball by Akoli into the tight areas. Justin down the right side, finding Bobby Decordova-Reid. Decordova-Reid, who was heavily involved in that FA Cup fixture. Given away there cheaply. Lewis Skelly, Odegaard over the top, looking for Sterling. Justin on the back of him. Sterling tries to spin him, gets it into the box, linking up with Trossard. Sterling across again, but Akoli will clear. Brought down by Gabriel. Ooh, just about got that through to Lewis Skelly. Yeah, it was good work from Arsenal, really. Nice link up between Trossard and Sterling, but no one in the middle. Here's Waneri. He will try and find someone. Headed away. Not fully cleared. The rebound off Ndidi. And Vardy tries to get Leicester out of trouble, but Ayew couldn't hold up the ball. Better control, better kind of pressure from Arsenal there in and around the box. Odegaard steps in field, chips it over the top again, but Akoli sees that one coming all the way, and we'll just let it roll out for a goal kick towards Trossard, the target there. It was slightly better pressure from the edge of the box there from Arsenal, sustaining the attack. Leicester staying compact defensively, not allowing them that clean opportunity at goal. Hermansen goes long. One for Vardy to chase, but Timber should have that one under control. Ayew might cause a 1 or 2 issues here. Timber had the time to look for the pass and find the pass to Odegaard. Now Nwaneri tries to force it in behind for Rice to chase, but well, marshalled there. Declan Rice by James Justin, I believe that was. It was. Oh, indeed, just about getting away with that one. Akoli now. And that's going to be a foul by Urian Timber on Jordan Ayew. He's just facing his own goal there, Ayew, and yeah, he's just kind of clipped by Urian Timber. It's a foul. And I think one thing for Arsenal, and it's not been a major problem for them over the years, is sharing goals between the team. You know, we talk about a title-winning side that you need to have goals from midfield, you need to have goals from various different places in trying to win games in big moments, and Arsenal have had that over the last number of years. Goals from a lot of different places. El Kanouche into the box. Ayew couldn't bring it down and control it. That was close. Arsenal on tender hooks there for a second, as El Kanouche's ball looked fancy. Now Arsenal want to brick themselves. Odegaard to Waneri. Back to Odegaard again. Through the lines to Trossard. Squeezing the little gaps, but Trossard's ball a bit too short to Waneri, and Christensen can't find a teammate, and it'll just go out for a throw. Well, at the moment, there's Leicester protests here in the stands against the Leicester Director of Football, John Rudkin, who's in the crowd, and the board as a whole at Leicester. So the Leicester fans certainly not happy with the higher-ups of their club at this moment in time, and have their rights to protest, of which they are fulfilling at this moment in time. Here's Raheem Sterling down the left side for Arsenal, back to the on-field matters. Because I don't have a degree in off-field matters. I don't have a degree in on-field matters either. But certainly the less said about those off-field matters, the better for me anyway. Nwaneri into the box. Oh, Rice got up there. Just couldn't direct it towards goal. Pass right fast. That was better again though. A couple of times we've seen that in this first 15 minutes or so when Ethan Nwaneri just chops onto his left, and we see the late run from midfield from Declan Rice trying to add that extra body in the middle and a lot of extra height in the middle, which is of course lacking with no Kai Havertz, but he adds that extra height and tries to cause an extra problem, and on that occasion he did get his head to the ball but couldn't get it towards goal. That's where Arsenal's threat is coming so far, and that youngster Ethan Nwaneri whips a really nice ball in, and Declan Rice makes that late run from midfield that isn't being tracked at the moment, or isn't being tracked well enough by the Leicester team. That's something they'll need to be wary of. Very wary of. Certainly able to score a couple. Declan Rice. Scored just one this season in the Premier League though. Got 2 assists against Manchester City and scored in the Champions League against Dinamo Zagreb in the last couple of weeks. And his only Premier League goal actually came in a 5-1 win away at Crystal Palace back in December. Saliba. Back to Raya. Arsenal dominating the possession, over 60% of the ball so far in the first 17 minutes. We've seen a little less of Leicester's counter-attack in the last couple of minutes when Arsenal really started to take a little better control of the game. Start to get the ball forward a lot better and on a more consistent basis. Leicester have just not struggled, but Arsenal have held on to the ball pretty well at that stage, although that pass is not going to keep them in possession, as it goes out for a Leicester throw. Press Raheem Sterling, of course, was brought in from Chelsea on loan until the end of the season. Raheem Sterling has now played for 4 of the big 6: Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea and Arsenal. And who knows what's next? Tottenham? I doubt that. You never know. Certainly he's got himself around, has Raheem Sterling. Justin trying to find Vardy. Well held away by Gabriel, but Takadura Reid tried to make a bit of a nuisance of himself there, but the ball just falls back to William Saliba, who can just calmly settle the Arsenal team again in possession. Well, Arsenal, despite that effort of that League Cup defeat, have actually been on a good run of form, unbeaten in the last 6 games in all competitions, 2 Champions League, and 4 Premier League. Their only droppage of points in that game run in the last 6 was actually a draw with Aston Villa at home. Those other 5 games are all wins for Arsenal. 5-1 against City, 2-1 against Girona, 1-0 against Wolves, 3-0 against Dinamo Zagreb, and of course the 2-1 win in the North London derby. But their only 3 defeats in this calendar year so far have actually come in cup competitions. The FA Cup and then both legs of the Carabao Cup. The other games have all been unbeaten. The last time Arsenal lost a league game was back in November, on the 2nd of November, away to Newcastle, when they lost 1-0. They have been unbeaten in the Premier League since that defeat, which is a pretty remarkable run for Arsenal, but a run you need to go on if you want to win the Premier League title. Now, their only other defeat this season, and they've only lost 2 league games this campaign, Arsenal, was a 2-0 defeat against Bournemouth in late October. But since then, unbeaten since that defeat to Newcastle in November. Nwaneri switching the ball out to Sterling. Lots of space here for Raheem Sterling, but There's a reason why, because he was offside. 20 minutes gone, 0-0. Leicester so far not only holding their own, but looking quite good off the ball. Jorginho there giving his professional opinion on the bench. Better play from Arsenal. Under pressure. Here's Nwaneri down the right side. Dribbles his way through too. Lovely. Feigning it through for Trossard, but the flag's gonna go up against Leandro Trossard there. Again, Arsenal doing it all right in the build-up, but trying to find that through ball, that last pass, and they're just getting caught offside. It's really beautiful play, especially by Ethan Nwaneri. A little dink between two. That's nice work from Ayew though, finding the run of Sumari. Gives it back to Christensen. Ayew trying to turn. Brought down by Thomas Partey there. Free kick to Leicester, which gets them up the field a little bit. Into the opponent's half, into Arsenal's half at least for now. And the chance for them to get their centre-backs up the field. Fight fast. Caleb Okoli, etc, etc. Use their height from this set piece. Ayew and Christensen over the free kick. Lots of space as Arsenal play such a high line. Christensen will whip into the box. Headed away by Gabriel. Might be opening here for a counter for Arsenal. Sterling. He's going to try and switch it. Brought down well by Nwaneri. Feeds it through to Ødegaard. Lovely combination there. Ødegaard almost getting caught up in his own pass. He plays it off now to Partey. Out wide on the right to Timber. Back infield it comes. Thomas Partey trying to squeeze it through the lines, but Ayew thumped it away there. Didn't go very far. As now Leicester will pick the ball up and go away with Vardy, who was brought down by Thomas Partey. That's the second little foul that Thomas Partey's committed from that type of position. He's trying to win the ball. Timber was sliding in. Sumari kind of let it run, allowed Vardy to break through, and then Partey just trying to stop him in his tracks. Ends up catching the back foot of Jamie Vardy. Gets Leicester another free kick here. This time Leicester's free kick in their own half, so not going to pump it forward. Sumari gives it back to Okoli. Now Fass. Back to Caleb Okoli. That's a dangerous ball by Hermansen, but it works out to find Ndidi. Now Justin. Nice work to El Canouse. Justin goes down, and Leicester just going to stop the game now. James Justin's maybe hurt himself here as he made that pass. Something about his ankle that's irritating him. So Leicester have a player down, James Justin. And whether he's going to receive treatment at the moment, I think he will. So we will tell you what's to come then tomorrow. Double header of Sunday action here in the Premier League. Liverpool will look to respond to whatever Arsenal can do today, or whatever Leicester can do to Arsenal today. You never know. Liverpool, the league leaders, looking to retain their gap at the top as they take on Wolves. Another side battling relegation against today's team, Leicester, as well. So a good battle between top and bottom today and tomorrow. That's tomorrow 2 o'clock at Anfield. Liverpool against Wolves, followed by Tottenham against Manchester United. Two of the season's underachievers and underperformers really in the Premier League based on their status over the Premier League in the last number of years. We will see what they can do to each other tomorrow. The last meeting between the two was an absolute thriller. 4-3 in the Carabao Cup, I believe it was, at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in the quarter-finals. An incredible game that was before Christmas. Let's hope for more of the same tomorrow afternoon. That's at 4:30, by the way, as well. So looking forward to those two games. But lots of Premier League action this afternoon. 6 games to come after this one today. Aston Villa hosting Ipswich. Nottingham Forest head to Fulham. Manchester City and Newcastle face each other. 2 teams battling for a top 4 spot. They're 5th and 6th at the moment. Either one of them could go above Chelsea, who lost last night, if they win later on this afternoon, City or Newcastle. Southampton and Bournemouth, 2 bottom of the country sides, 2 sides in the bottom of the country in terms of geographical position. 2 South Coast teams, they face each other, but very different places in the league. Southampton rock bottom of the league, but Bournemouth looking for a possible sneak in further up the table into European places. West Ham take on Brentford, 2 sides that have ambitions higher in the table than where they currently are. And Crystal Palace take on Everton, and Everton side looking to take that late equaliser in the Merseyside derby into today's fixture away at Palace at 5:30 kickoff. Right, James Justin is back to his feet. We've just got restarted, and Justin looked like he might have been coming off, but isn't at this moment in time anyway. He is ready to return at any given moment as the referee waves him back on. And it's going to be a free kick to Leicester there as Saliba just shoved the back of Jamie Vardy. Not going to get away with that one. It did look like there was a substitute readying himself for Leicester, but that has quickly changed, and he has got sitting back down and put his coat back on. So James Justin is back on the field and okay to continue, at least for now, for Leicester. So we'll keep an eye on that ankle problem for the Leicester right back. See how well that develops throughout this game then. 27 minutes gone, still 0-0. Leicester not giving up too many chances to Arsenal so far, and getting maybe 1 or 2 half chances going the other way. Certainly not one-way traffic at this moment as Soumare puts a ball forward to test the Arsenal defence, and it did, as Timber ended up on his backside against Kilabakoli, and Leicester win the throw-in. Taken quickly. Christensen couldn't be kept there down that side by Leicester. Trossard won it back and won the free kick as well in the process against Christensen. So free kick to Arsenal. Sorry, it was a Coley there that committed that foul. This is where Leicester will be a threat. You know, we can talk about where they are in the table and how many goals they've conceded and not scoring many themselves either. But Leicester are always a threat. You know, you take into account they went to Spurs and won. Now, of course, I mean, that's not a major feat in the Premier League at this moment in time. But they went to Old Trafford and tried to get something. They almost got something out of that game. So there is promise in this Leicester side that they are competitive in games. They're just not getting the results that they feel they probably deserve. Now, losing 4-0 to Everton is not going to help your confidence, which they have done in their last Premier League game. They lost 4-0 to the Toffees as Trossard tried to break in behind there, but again the offside flag goes up. That's the 3rd time that offside flag has gone up in the last 7 minutes or so. Just seems like Arsenal not holding their run well enough, or Leicester just really good at playing the offside trap at the moment. That's what's beating Arsenal in those areas. But as I was saying, for Leicester, you know, losing 4-0 to Everton's not going to help your confidence. But, you know, that win against Tottenham might have been a mood booster. But they really haven't been competitive enough, really, under Ruud van Nistelrooy. I mean, you look at the many games that they've lost in this run. And if you take into account, if you take out other competitions, so take out the FA Cup for example, they have won just 1 of their last 10 league games. Leicester, 1 draw and 1 win in that run. 8 defeats in their last 10 Premier League games for Leicester. Now of course they're relegation battlers, and you expect them to not be winning every week or picking up points every week, but at the moment it looks like they're struggling to even keep themselves in games. But at the moment they certainly are. And they're keeping Arsenal at bay with this offside trap, because they've just called another offside here against Raheem Sterling this time. But the stat and the graphics just come up on the screen. Leicester have the fewest clean sheets of any Premier League side. Just one clean sheet in the league this season, Leicester. Everyone else has more than one in the Premier League. So Leicester on their own lonesome on that little run. And if I tell you what that game was, it was Bournemouth in October. In the 7th game of the season, they kept their first and only clean sheet so far this campaign. On the 5th of October, when they beat Bournemouth by 1-0 here, Facundo Buonanotte scored the only goal of that game. And that is their only clean sheet of the campaign for Leicester. Throw in for Arsenal here, down the left-hand side. Miles Lewis-Skelly to take. Skelly back to Gabriel, who sends it flying forward. Justin did well in the adjustment. 2 players in red around him. He's fight fast, who will give it back to his keeper. Hermansen will send it back the way it came. Now to Justin, who chests it down. Fizzed it forward. One for Vardy to chase. One for Raya to come for. Gets it to Gabriel, who has to hold on here because the keeper's out of his nets. And it will be an Arsenal throw. Down that left side off El Kanouche last. So Arsenal will get the throw in. So far, I haven't really seen a major attempted goal yet. Both shots on target have been decent efforts, but retrospectively, pretty comfortable saves for either keeper. Here is Rice down the right side. Now comes Nwaneri. Chops onto his left again. Not given the space to cut the ball across, but finds a pass to Lewis-Skelly on the opposite side. Edge of the box. Gives it back to Gabriel. Bodies hanging around the edge of that box. Lovely fed through ball by Gabriel, but Sterling stumbles and couldn't keep his balance there on that occasion. As Leicester clear it away from danger and win themselves a throw in. That's fabulous defending from Leicester. Maybe a slice of luck that Raheem Sterling kind of thought he was Bambi on ice there for a second as he stumbled his way into the box. I think I would do him for a breathalyzer test on Raheem Sterling there as he tried to break into the Leicester box and they dealt with the situation. But again, it's just calmness from Leicester. There was no panic when the ball was played through. They just knew their positions. They knew what they needed to do. And look at this from Vardy. Steals the ball away from Saliba. And Vardy closed out there by Nwaneri on the cover. Will be a Leicester throw again down this left-hand side. Even at the fine old age of 38, Jamie Vardy still running and battling and competing with the top quality players, probably a decade or more younger than him in the Premier League. Fitness at its peak there from the Leicester number 9. Here's a Coley. Christensen finding Ayew, holding off his man in Timber. And Ayew will just recycle it back to Caleb Okoli for the home side. Doing well at the moment, our Leicester. Christensen. Nice ball finding Ayew again. Timber trying to break away. Again, Christensen holds it up. And Leicester just continue to have the ball. But look, at the moment, the big story this week has been on how Arsenal have had more injury problems. With Saka has been out as well. Martinelli was out as well after that Newcastle game. So 2 big injuries. And then we found out this week that Gabriel Jesus and now, of course, Kai Havertz could be out for the remainder of the season, both players. That's a poor pass into the midfield there as Soumare lets loose of the ball. Sterling will shoot from distance, but will shoot well wide. Oh, I think they took a deflection on the way through for a corner. Again, it's just a little too much for Boubakary Soumare in the midfield. It runs away from him, the ball, and Sterling charging forward into the to the edge of the D, has the shot deflected off the right leg of Wout Faes. And I was wondering why Hermansen tried to save it. He tried to save it because he spotted the deflection, and it goes behind for a corner. Maybe an Arsenal threat. It will be the first corner of the game. Quite interestingly enough, at the 35-minute mark, it will be Ethan Nwaneri to take on this right-hand side. So Nwaneri to take this Arsenal corner early on. The first corner of the match for either team. See how Leicester defend this situation. Ball whipped in by Nwaneri. Punched away by Hermansen. Not fully cleared though. So it was kept alive there by Sterling on the edge of the box, but just done enough there. Did Bobby Reid. I think that was going out. Yeah, it was. Always going out for an Arsenal throw there on the far side. Again, you know, for Arsenal, it's not been an awful first half. It's not been a first half that, well, Jesus, that was an awful bit of move there by Lewis Skelly. And Rice there getting in a bit of a muddle. The ball goes out for a Leicester throw. But for Arsenal, you know, it's been decent first half. They've held the ball up well. They've done well in possession. But I've got to be honest, when you think about it, you know, they haven't really tested Leicester massively so far, other than that Raheem Sterling chance, which we saw about a minute ago. Leicester's defending has been pretty much impeccable up to this point. And all they can really ask in what they're doing to Arsenal, you know, they've played Arsenal offside 4 times in the game so far. So they are getting joy out of that offside trap that they're playing at the moment, Leicester. Arsenal just struggling to get joy in that final third against their opponents, as Rice tried to thump it over the top. But easily cleared by Hermansen. Gabriel with a header forward. Ayew in the mix. Tackled over Reid, couldn't bring it down, and that will go out for an Arsenal throw. Just no cool kind of fluidity from Arsenal so far. They have been disrupted multiple times by Leicester. They're just not able to keep the rhythm of the game going. Lewis Skelly back to Partey, who rings it back round the corner to David Raya. Finding Saliba. And now Odegaard will take the ball in turn, trying to get something forward. Odegaard feeds it down the left for Sterling. Back to Lewis Skelly. So Arsenal just edge forward furthermore. Partey facing his own goal, lays it off to Gabriel. Leicester quite compact with that 4-4-2 at the moment. Out of possession. I think I heard Ruud van Nistelrooy shouting, keep the 4-4-2 there on the sidelines. Well, they were. Here's Ethan Nwaneri down the right side. So a few more drop into the box. Here's Odegaard, not given the time to shoot by El Khanous. That's a great little skidding challenge by El Khanous. Although the Leicester possession didn't last very long. Here's Nwaneri again down the right side. Is it back to Partey? Nice. Saliba. Cross to Gabriel. Now around the left side, is Raheem Sterling. Trying to find a way through to the box. They're going from side to side at the moment, Arsenal, trying to find the gaps. Lovely little link up there between Gabriel and Sterling. Partey threads it through. Down the left is Skelly, not given the time to cut inside, as Rice keeps the pressure on as Leicester try and scramble it away. Gabriel finding Partey in space. Lays it off to Odegaard. Chips it over the top. Trossard in behind. Took the touch, but Justin got the better of him and cleared it away. But that's better from Arsenal. Better intensity. Better pressure. Here's Rice again. Down the left side comes Lewis Skelly. This is a pressure point for Leicester to try and hold on through this little wave of pressure from Arsenal. Odegaard. Now Gabriel. Lots of bodies in the final third here. Trossard off the left side. Odegaard now again into the box. Squeezes it past Ndidi, but Sterling couldn't find it any further. Lewis Skelly just about gets it back to Saliba. And Leicester pressing out of possession, forcing Arsenal back to their goalkeeper. It was a good rebound by Leicester. That was a good kind of really compact and settled, composed defending. Not rushing out of position, not forcing runs, not overcommitting in any sort of situation. And they hold up well, they make sure the gaps are closed, they make sure there's no space, and even if they do play a nice ball on behind Arsenal, they're alert for it, they're ready for it. And they were on that one. Odegaard to Trossard again, and James Justin spotted the ball, didn't go past him. Ended up just booting it away. And it was a poor control by Leandro Trossard, if I'm honest with you. Just kind of backheeled it away from goal, did Trossard. Long ball by Hermansen. That will bounce all the way back to Raya. He has to come out of his box to control it there. He did well. Couldn't be kept in play by James Justin. "41 minutes gone, so not much of the first half to go. And still we sit deadlocked at 0-0, and James Justin's gone down again. Said we'd keep an eye on it, and I think that's really all you need to see to show that that will be the end of James Justin's day, I would suggest. Because it's the same issue, and he's taking his boot off again, so whatever the problem is, he can't continue, and I think Leicester will make that change now. Yeah, it's just as he tried to keep the ball in play there, he kind of stomped down on his right boot, and whatever happened, it certainly wasn't nice for James Justin, so he's down again. A quick look around the grounds in the EFL this afternoon. Of course, lunchtime EFL games are commonplace now. Cardiff have taken on Bristol City. It's 0-0 there. It's actually been a suspended game at Oxford against Portsmouth. Whatever that game is about, why it's been suspended, I'm not too sure at this moment. But it was suspended halfway through the first half, so that one's still 0-0, but suspended at the moment. So there's a stoppage. And Preston are facing Burnley, also goalless at the moment. Not many goals around the grounds in the early game so far this afternoon. A couple in League One, but nothing in the Championship or the Premier League game so far. As Leicester going to make this change then, so James Justin's coming off and Woyo Koulibaly is coming on. Koulibaly, the 25-year-old Frenchman, joined Leicester in the January window for £2.5 million from Parma in Italy, of course. Came through the Le Havre Youth Academy in France. And Woyo Koulibaly started against Everton in the Premier League, came on against Manchester United in the FA Cup in the second half, and has come on from came off the bench a little bit earlier this evening, or this afternoon, sorry, in the first half here against Arsenal. So getting his opportunity since joining the club is Woyo Koulibaly. Raya out of his own box again there. Finds a lovely ball out wide to Timber. Well snatched upon by Jordan Ayew. And a throw in will go Arsenal's way, to the disbelief of the Leicester fans, players and the manager. Arsenal given the throw in there. I need to see the replay, but it did look like a Leicester throw on that occasion, but nonetheless the Arsenal attack comes to nothing. Right to Mads Hermansen, that long ball forward. Last minute of the first 45. We'll have a couple of added minutes, of course, with those stoppages for James Justin's injury. So we will have a couple of minutes added on at the end of the first half here. Still time for the scoreline to change before the break, but so far, again, as I said, we've not had really major problems for either goalkeeper up to this stage of the game. Here's Rice. Steps in field. Trying to find that forward pass. Has to square it across to Timber. He will find it down the right side for Ethan Nwaneri. Takes on his man in Christensen. Nwaneri leaves him for dead. Chips it across the 6-yard box. Well headed behind by Wout Faes for a corner. And Ethan Nwaneri's looked an absolute machine down that right side so far. bursting with pace past Victor Christensen, like he's not there. It gets it across the byline into the 6-yard box, but doesn't go any further than the head of the first man, Wout Faes, in the area, who gets it well clear of danger for a corner. 4 added minutes at the end of the first half then. And Waneri, who won the corner, will take the corner. On this right side for Arsenal. Took the first one, well defended. Second one, a lot more looping. Headed on by Gabriel. Headed away by Coley, I believe. And there's a player down on the edge of the box in Leicester colours. In El Canouse, who fell awkwardly, but no foul, said the referee. As Leicester have the ball anyway with Herbenson. It was a good looping cross, and Gabriel got up, headed it towards goal, and then it was Wilfred Ndidi who headed it clear of danger. Hermanson with a long kick, as the Arsenal players chasing towards their own goal, but not for very long, as the ball will bobble into the area, and easy for the Arsenal keeper to grab. Distributes it quickly all the way out to Raheem Sterling, who tried to blast his way past Oyo Koulibaly, but ended up putting the ball out of play and across the sideline for a Leicester throw. Those little moments that are just not allowing Arsenal to keep the momentum in the game. There's little breakups in play. There was a lot of throw-ins in this first half, and just that sheer breakup of the game, that it's as simple as that sometimes. Just get the ball out for a throw and stop the momentum, stop the rhythm from Arsenal in their attacks. And that's really what Leicester are doing at the moment, and doing it with some success at this stage of the game. But it's about sustaining that, and that will be the task, that will be the kind of objective for Ruud van Nistelrooy's side. Maybe try to get up the field a little bit more, and the fact that just show Arsenal that you can threaten them up the other end, and maybe give them something to worry about. Will be Decordova-Reid. That's lovely. Lovely little skill by Soumare. Lays it off now to Decordova-Reid. Lays it across back to Soumare in the box. Can he find a pass? Well blocked. Falls back out to Decordova-Reid again. El Canouse in the box. Chips it across. Too high for Vardy. Kept alive though. This is a good end of the half from Leicester. Christensen. Vardy again on the left. Lays it across to El Canouse in the box. Tried to shoot, well charged down by the bodies in red in there, and thumped clear by Saliba of danger. But that was much more impressive from Leicester's point of view. Just as I said, Ruud van Nistelrooy want to see his side further up the field. They must have heard me, because they listened. Hermanson, beautiful ball into Ayew. Ayew in the box. Lays it off now. Christensen. Back to Jordan Ayew, further wide. Ayew. And he lays it off to El Canouse, who tried to squeeze it through, but well cleared away. Much better from Leicester. Towards the end of this half, Christensen's deep ball in. Ndidi! Oh, headed wide. Oh, what a chance. Much better from Leicester City. Round of applause from the whole stadium. Obviously, all those supporting them, obviously, and their supporters getting up for that. Great end to the half this has been for Leicester. What a ball by Christensen. What a leap by Wilfred Ndidi. It looked like it was arrowing towards the far corner, but it just goes wide. That's a huge opportunity. That would have been a beautiful goal. It would have been beautiful. Ever so close for Leicester. And that will round off the first 45 here at the King Power Stadium. It ends with Leicester with a late flurry in the first half. It's been Arsenal who've been in control and had a lot of the possession and dominated the ball in the first half, but lacking any real clear-cut chances to really test the Leicester goalkeeper, Mads Hermansen, who will go in without a single sweat on his forehead at the moment. Mads Hermansen, not much to test him in the first half, really, until the last few minutes. Not much to test the Arsenal keeper either, but Leicester ending the half with a little bit of strength and a little bit of threat to keep Arsenal honest. Half time at the King Power Stadium. It's goalless here between Leicester and Arsenal. Analysis on the way next. Do stay with us.
off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine.
Welcome back to Premier League Live, half-time at lunchtime. At this lunchtime kickoff between Leicester and Arsenal. It is goalless at the break at the King Power Stadium. But Leicester certainly ended the first half the stronger of the two teams. We will recap and analyse that first half for you very shortly. But one game already took place last night to kick off Matchday 25 in the Premier League. It was a game on the south coast between Brighton and Chelsea. And after knocking them out of the FA Cup 6 days prior, Brighton pasted Chelsea once again. A 3-goal advantage, a 3-goal win. 3-0 win for Brighton over Chelsea yesterday. Karim Mitoma by the opening goal. And a brace from Yankuba Minta, both set up by Danny Welbeck, who last got 2 assists in a game when he played for Arsenal back in 2017. Danny Welbeck, but Yankuba Minta with those the second and the third goals for Brighton to wrap up the result. Chelsea failing to take that opportunity to solidify their place in the top 4 coming into this weekend. They now are on the verge of possibly being toppled, with Bournemouth, Newcastle and Man City all on the coattails of Chelsea coming into this weekend, and all with a chance to go above them this weekend. Now, of course, Chelsea won't be able to be overturned by all 3 teams because City play Newcastle, but it is a chance, it is a possibility. We will analyse the table, we'll analyse what's to come as well this weekend. As you can see, a full roster of fixtures to come this weekend. We'll have 3 live games, of course, this game today, and then the double header tomorrow between Liverpool and Wolves and Tottenham and Manchester United to come your way. But looking ahead to those 3 o'clockers, Aston Villa looking to make the most of where they are in the table at the moment. They're in 9th in the table, but they want to jump up the table and move on to 40 points. They can do that against struggling Ipswich, an Ipswich side who lost to Southampton last time out in the Premier League. Ipswich can move themselves out of the bottom 3 today if Leicester fail to beat Arsenal and Ipswich beat Aston Villa. Jesus, I forgot who I was talking about there. If Ipswich beat Aston Villa, they can move outside the bottom 3 today, but they would need a good amount of a goal swing for that to happen. Fulham take on Nottingham Forest. The Fulham side at this moment in time, who are as mid-table as they possibly could be under Marco Silva, 10th in the table. Pretty competitive looking up the table rather than down the table. There is a little gap between 10th and 11th of 5 points, but that could swing if Brentford beat West Ham and Fulham lose to Nottingham Forest, which is possible. Forest themselves looking to keep on the coattails of Arsenal. If they win away at Fulham today, they would re-establish their battle with Arsenal. At the moment, it would be 4 points if the things were to go as they are here at the King Power, and Forest with a chance to level that at the moment. But Arsenal won't be toppled because their goal difference is too good, even if they do lose today. At Man City, Newcastle, surely the pick of the bunch at 3 o'clock. 2 very competitive sides, 2 sides battling for European places, maybe top 4 spots between the 2 of them this week. Manchester City, obviously, or Newcastle, both can find themselves in the top 4 with a win this afternoon. But if they draw, it will certainly open the door for Bournemouth as well. So that's a good battle. Man City against Newcastle, 5th and 6th in the table at 3 o'clock. It's a battle of the South Coast as well, as Southampton take on Bournemouth. Bournemouth, as I said, 7th in the table. If City and Newcastle draw, Bournemouth have a chance to jump up to the top 4 today with a win. Any sort of win against Southampton would do that for Bournemouth, and results going their way elsewhere. Southampton, well, they need a mini miracle, maybe a major miracle if they're going to stay in the Premier League, but a win against Bournemouth today would put them on double figures in points. They're still only on 9 points after 24 Premier League games. Everyone else on double figures, and they're 7 points behind Ipswich as well at this moment in time. And the only other 3 o'clocker sees West Ham take on Brentford in a London derby. West Ham United looking to keep themselves away from that battle at the bottom, with only 4 sides in a combination at the moment. West Ham in 16th, currently 8 points clear of Wolves, 9 points clear of Leicester. As it stands, they are 10 points clear of Leicester before the start of play today. In the bottom 3, West Ham looking to solidify that place further up the table. Brentford, they can close the gap to Fulham if they can win away at the London Stadium. And the late game between Crystal Palace and Everton. Palace side also looking to move up the table and look up the table rather, if they can win today. But Everton, buoyed from that draw, that late goal against Liverpool, the latest goal in a Merseyside derby ever. On Wednesday night, they're looking to bounce back and take some positivity, a lot of positivity from that. They can topple both Tottenham and Manchester United today before both play tomorrow. Everton, if they win away at Crystal Palace, they can go above both United and Spurs this afternoon. Right, that's what's to come the rest of today. But let's round up what we've already seen here at the King Power Stadium, because 7 minutes before the second half gets underway. And really, if I had to analyse that first half and kind of explain to you what I really feel from what I've saw in that first half, and I've saw an Arsenal side not in rhythm very often, really struggling to move the ball with pace, with quality, and consistently in the right areas. They've been caught offside a number of times. They've not been able to consistently find the ball to the right players, to make the right things happen, to test Mads Hermansen in the Leicester goal. In the Leicester goal at all in that first half. And I gotta be honest, Leicester are looking to threat themselves. Arsenal really need to buck up their ideas, because this is not going to be an easy, simple stroll in the park for them today. And if they haven't realised that from the first half, well, they'll certainly realise it in the second, because it's not going to be an easy run for them. I think Arsenal need to be a little bit better. They need to be better at moving the ball quicker, with more pace, with more energy, and with a little bit more intensive an intention in where they're moving the ball. At the moment, they're just moving it sideways, waiting for an opportunity to break for them. And at times, they look like they've run out of ideas as to where they're going to find the pass, where they're going to find the option, where they're going to try and find a free man or drag a player out of position to create a little bit of space. There's just not any of that going on at the moment from Arsenal's point of view. Too much kind of stability in terms of the fact that they're just standing there. There's not much movement. There's not a lot of kind of trying to drag players out of position. And when you're against a low block, like Leicester have been today, you need to try and find runners. You need to try and drag people out of positions and create a bit of chaos. They haven't really done that against Leicester at all today in this first half. But contrastingly to that, I would also say that Leicester have been really solid, really comfortable in their own box, and really solid defensively. So Arsenal, even if they do drag players out of position, when those players are pushed out and when they're pressing Leicester, they've been winning the ball, they've been battling really well and threatening Arsenal coming the other way. So if I were to be honest, at this moment in time, it's a combination of both Arsenal lacking rhythm, but also Leicester looking comfortable out of possession and good at winning the ball back and good at keeping Arsenal at bay at the moment and closing those gaps and spaces and not allowing for the Arsenal to find the space and the gaps to try and get those attacking moves done. But it might come to a little bit of individual quality that's needed from Arsenal's point of view to try and give them an opening goal or to give them something to ignite their attacking hopes in this game, because at the moment it's really not looking well. Now, I said that against Manchester United for Leicester. I did the FA Cup game between United and Leicester 8 days ago now, last Friday, and I said in that game Manchester United were absolutely nowhere in the final third. They come out in the second half, made a few tweaks, and they were charging their way at Leicester in that second half. They were all over them for the final quarter of the game and probably deserved to win, albeit the offside goal. But nonetheless, they probably deserved to win that game, United. So if Arsenal follow suit, make a couple of tweaks, try and move something, change something, get a bit of movement in the final third, and try and keep yourself onside, crucially, because they've let themselves down with cheap passes out of possession, not keeping the ball down the sidelines, just allowing Leicester to get throw-ins out of those situations, and also, of course, playing into that offside trap and getting caught out more than enough times in that first half. 4 offsides against Arsenal in that first half. So that's where Arsenal need to just tidy it up a little bit more. It's been sloppy, it's a little bit off the boil from Arsenal's point of view. And in this title race, they can't afford to do that. They drop points today, Arsenal. Say they get a point out of this game. They find themselves 6 points behind Liverpool, with Liverpool a chance tomorrow to make it 9, a chance that Liverpool failed to do on Wednesday night. And Arsenal will give them another chance to further that gap and extend that gap, and that's the last thing Arsenal need. What Arsenal need to do is match or better Liverpool's result until the end of the season, and they will have a chance. But if they keep giving Liverpool opportunities, at one point they're going to come unstuck, and Liverpool are going to find an even further gap, and a gap that will be insurmountable at one point. And I think that's the type of motivation that Mikel Merino needs to give his side. Not put pressure on them too much, but say, do you want to be titled? Do you want to win the title? Then show me a little bit more. Because I don't think the Arsenal players could go in at half-time and say, we've given her everything in that first half. If they say that, then they're heavily mistaken, because you can see they certainly didn't throw everything at it in that first half. But again, they have a second half to change it and to try and win this game. No damage done, but it very much could have been. Leicester, without those last few minutes, Arsenal will be pretty happy with the first half, but despite not scoring, obviously. But with Leicester having that little spell before half-time, it just maybe sows a little bit of doubt in the Arsenal team, and you never know. We will see. Right, 2 minutes to go until the second half gets underway, and we will be back with the second half between Leicester and Arsenal. It's still goalless. We're hoping for some goals in the second half. Join us in a few minutes for that.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine.
Welcome back to Premier League Live. Second half at the King Power Stadium on the way in just a moment. But don't forget, the other title challengers against another side battling relegation tomorrow. Liverpool take on Wolves tomorrow, 2 o'clock, in our first of 2 Premier League games for you on the doubleheader tomorrow afternoon. Looking forward to that one tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Right, don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on post notifications if you haven't done so already. That would be greatly appreciated. We thank each and every one of you for joining us this afternoon for this lunchtime kickoff to round and kick off your Premier League weekend, Matchday 25. We're getting towards the business end, and this is where the big players need to show themselves and in big moments for big prizes, and we will see if Arsenal can do that, or if Leicester can maybe cause a little bit of a shock in the second half. We will see as the players ready to come back out for the second 45 here at the moment. Graham in the chat says, come on Leicester, YNWA. So not a Liverpool fan in the chat, is Graham. Great to have Graham with us again. Thank you very much for joining us, Graham, and everybody joining us. Do get your comments in on the chat if you want to. I will read them out, and we will have a little bit of a conversation in the second half about how the game's going and how the Premier League and how your team's doing in the Premier League. A lot of action up and down the table, keeping every part of the table covered, top and bottom, with our 2 games, Arsenal, Leicester today, and then Liverpool Wolves tomorrow. So the top and bottom are covered, and then a little bit more mid-table with United and Tottenham tomorrow afternoon as well. So lots to keep your interest entertained, shall we say, for this weekend and the rest of the Premier League season, of course. I am filling a little bit, if you're wondering. because they're just coming back out now. Ready to go then for the second half. Arsenal were out a bit early. They've been out for the last minute or two, but Leicester just arriving back onto the field of play. So Leicester keeping Arsenal waiting a little bit longer. And they will get us back underway, will the home side, for the second 45 here at the King Power Stadium. A 45 minutes that will be big for both ends of the table in the title race and in the relegation battle. Leicester looking to close the gap to the safety zone outside of that bottom three, but Arsenal looking to close the gap on the league leaders Liverpool. A lot at stake in this next 45 minutes, and we'll see who will come out on top here this afternoon. Whether either team comes out on top, we will see, of course. That's a little bit of a late challenge by El Canouse on Thomas Partey. It's just going to be a yellow card for the Leicester man. And that's the first yellow card of the afternoon for Bilal El Canouse. Yeah, just a bit of a slide tackle. Yeah, it's just a bit late from him. VAR Paul Tierney, I think, quickly clearing that one up as well. The referee Sam Barrett just giving yellow for Bilal El Canouse there. First booking of the game. So free kick to Arsenal. And one thing for Arsenal, they want to start the second half quickly. Leicester didn't allow them to start the first half quickly, and they've given the ball away there cheaply. Waneri, here is Ayew down the line to Christensen, but he will be well covered over by Timber. And I think might have been a last touch actually of Christensen there. Goal kick. Decent threat from Leicester, decent pressure as well from them. Certainly not allowed Arsenal to have it all their own way in this game so far. The last time Leicester beat Arsenal, as I said, was a 1-0 victory in October 2020. Jamie Vardy scored the only goal of that game that day in the 80th minute. But the last time they beat them at home, Leicester, was in November 2019 in a 2-0 victory against the Gunners. Partey was fouled there in his own box by Ayew. As I was saying, 2-0 win for Leicester on that day back in 2019. James Maddison and Jamie Vardy got the 2 goals on that occasion. On that day, and players the like of Ben Chilwell, Johnny Evans, Yuri Tielemans, obviously James Maddison, Harvey Barnes, Ayuso Perez were in the side that day. Wilfred Ndidi and Jamie Vardy, out of the starting 11 that day, are the only 2 players that are still at the football club, are still here playing this afternoon, that last beat Arsenal 6 years ago, or 5.5 years ago at this stadium in the Premier League. There was Skelly over the top. Just trying to find Waneri. And the pace of the ball beat Waneri, and Christensen let it roll for a goal kick. Yeah, it's a nice ball. Decent effort by Miles Lewis Skelly, but Ethan Waneri was always well marshalled and well covered over there at the back by Victor Christensen. Hermansen to Okoli. He will go long. Couldn't find Ayew. That's nicely intercepted by Partey, and through runs Rice. Tries to lay it off to Sterling. Good challenge by Wilfred Ndidi there, just in the nick of time against his man. Here's Koulibaly. Now Canouse over the top. Run of Vardy here. Vardy's got Ayew in the middle. Vardy on his own at the moment. Jamie Vardy couldn't get it across, well blocked. We'll get a second chance. Rolls it back to El Canouse, told to shoot. Does shoot, well charged down. And Partey can carry it away for Arsenal. Now that was better from Leicester. And the Werdegaard rides a challenge. Bit more open now. Sterling down the left side. He's got Trossard in the middle. Sterling tries to go himself and runs into Woyo Koulibaly in his way. And now Leicester come up the other end. End to end at the moment. Down the right it goes. And not kept in there as Rice made the last challenge. And that will be a throw to Leicester. Just see it here. Lovely little through ball. Party to Odegaard. Odegaard to Rice. And then Rice didn't want to shoot. Took the shot. Tried to square it across. Took the pass, sorry. Squared it across to Raheem Sterling. And that's a great challenge by Wilfred Ndidi on his own box there. Under pressure. It's very good defending. Maybe a bit clumsy in the fact that he came crashing in, but it's a good challenge. Much better. Much more energy about the game in the last few minutes anyway. I think both managers wanted to see a little bit more from their teams for the second half. Here's a Coley. And Christensen. Back to a Coley. All the way back to Hermansen. Coley feeds it through to Vardy. Holds it up well, Jimmy Vardy. Almost clipped that there again by William Saliba. We'll get the free kick out of that situation. Jimmy Vardy, it's one of his biggest traits. You know, he's got so many good traits, Jimmy Vardy. His incredible goal scoring, his better ball control and his ability to run with the ball. Mick runs in behind and test defences, but his ability to occupy defenders is just better than anything else, and able to hold up the play when he is kind of marshalled and marked by a defender. His ability to find the layoff, find the pass, hold it up well, and distribute the ball wide is just fantastic. There's Vardy. No, offside there. Was Bobby Decordova-Reid, and that will be a free kick to Arsenal. First time Leicester have been called offside in the game so far. Maybe Arsenal are applying the same type of technique, trying to play the offside trap. Here's Timber. Odegaard in space. Dinks it out to the far side for Sterling. Koulibaly in the way. Koulibaly gets it away for an Arsenal throw. Controlton's coming on Woyo Koulibaly against Raheem Sterling so far. Oh, indeed, he had to just squeeze that one behind for a corner. That was nice combinations down the left side there from Arsenal from the throw-in. Odegaard with a flick on, rolled in behind, trying to find Sterling's run, and then indeed he did just enough to get it behind for the corner. That's all Martin Odegaard's doing. That little dink, that little flick into the path of Sterling. Just fabulous. That's what you call a defence-splitting pass. That little moment. And Arsenal get a corner. Rice to take on this left side. Right-footed. Whipped one. Gabriel was blocked, and Christensen will head it behind for another Arsenal corner. Gabriel's the main threat. Decordova-Reid just blocking Gabriel as he made the run, and Christensen was there to head it clear. Head it behind, sorry, for another corner. And there's the set-piece coach. I don't know why we keep getting shots of set-piece coaches. Ethan Nwaneri will take this corner for Arsenal. Right side will be another in-swinger. Left-footed. Cleared away at the front post by Jimmy Vardy. And El Khanouche tries to carry it forward into space. Gets the throw-in off the retreating Ethan Nwaneri. Much better from Leicester. So much desire and fight in their play this afternoon. And it's not like they're dogs of war or anything like that. They're trying to play good football. They're trying to play nice football themselves. But they've got that little edge to them, Leicester, where they're not afraid. They've got that real arrogant confidence at times on the ball, where they believe in themselves and believe in what they're doing. And sometimes that's all you maybe need. Declan Rice there, penalised for a foul on Boubakary Soumaré, so a free kick to Leicester. .54 minutes gone. Leicester looking more of a threat in the second half, but so are Arsenal. Matching each other again. Hermansen goes long. Header won by Okoli, brought down by Fass. But the free kick's going to be given as Okoli deemed to have committed the foul on Urian Timber when he won the ball. Not a popular decision around the ground. I mean, Wout Fass's shot was always going wide anyway, so it was never a threat, but got to see the replay. I don't really... When I first looked at it, I thought he won it fairly, Caleb Okoli. We'll see it again. I mean, I don't think that's a foul, if I'm honest. That's a bit weak defending from Urian Timber. He went down far too easily there. I mean, Okoli has the right to win the ball, obviously. Maybe a bit harsh, that one, from the referee, but in the end, we saw the resulting shot anyway. It was never going into the back of the net from Wout Fass, I can tell you that for nothing. Raya. Saliba. Back to David Raya. To Gabriel now. Looking for options. At the moment, the only good options are at centre back. Here is Timber now. Lovely little turn past Ayew. That was smart. Rolls away with the ball and was held by Ayew all the way and brought down. And it's going to be a yellow card and a free kick. So a yellow card for Jordan Ayew. And a free kick to Arsenal. Yeah. It was really smart from Urian Timber. Knew what he was doing, broke away from Ayew. And Ayew knew he was never going to let Urian Timber go. Holding on for dear life there, and Timber went down, getting a free kick. And Jordan Ayew gets a yellow card for his troubles. Second yellow card of the game, both of Leicester persuasion. Partey finding Nwaneri off the right side, chopping onto his left there. Nwaneri still going. Switches the ball, finds Sterling. Lots of bodies in the way though. Lewis Skelly with a nice touch into space. Trying to feed it through to Rice, well blocked. And now Leicester come away with the balls. El Canouse tried a little bit of skill. And as he tried to bleep past Gabriel, he run out of room. Goal, throw in to Arsenal on that far side. Yeah, it was decent. Lovely little bit of skill, but just tried to keep the ball in play. It was more of a problem from Bilal El Canouse there. It's a nice turn by Partey. Breaks away from his man, finding Sterling. Space down the left here. Raheem Sterling into the box. Back to Partey. Rolls it back. Gabriel not shooting. Now Odegaard. He will try and find a shot. Well charged down by Ndidi. Was one of those there that blocked it. Kept alive by Arsenal though. Here's Odegaard again. Through the lines trying to find Sterling. And Ndidi coming across. Wanting a foul. Wilfred Ndidi. But it will be an Arsenal corner. Again, another really good cover by Wilfred Ndidi, who was tussling with Sterling. Felt he was fouled there, did the Leicester midfielder, but not given by the referee, and just a corner to Arsenal has been given here. A lot more energetic the start of the second half from both teams. Arsenal maybe getting a little bit more joy out of that, of course, at this stage. Rice to deliver. Flicked on! Oh, over the bar by Caleb Okoli. See this again. Yeah, Okoli got up above everyone else and he felt he was fouled, but again, just another corner will come for Arsenal. Rice will deliver once more. Whipped in again, flicked away, and that will be a foul on Caleb Okoli this time. The referee was aware of it, and he spotted it and gave it. Free kick to Leicester. I think one thing from Leicester's point of view, and I have to be really honest about it, coming up to the hour mark, and they've been incredibly disciplined. Incredibly disciplined. And sometimes people think discipline means sitting deep, park the bus football. That's what discipline means. But discipline really just means sticking to the game plan. You know, not straying away from what the manager's told you, or not really going too extensive or expressive or too kind of over the top at the way you're playing. Just be calm on the ball, settled on the ball. Don't try anything too awkward. So they give the ball away cheaply there, Leicester. Nice ball from Odegaard into Nwaneri. Oh, ever so close. Just over the bar. That is fabulous transition play from Arsenal. Leicester give the ball away a little bit cheaply in midfield from Ndidi and El Kanouche there. It falls to Odegaard. Feeds a lovely ball through to Nwaneri. Again, chopping inside onto his left. Gets past Akoli. Has the shot. And it just clips the top of the crossbar. That is a chance and a half for Arsenal and Ethan Nwaneri. Probably the closest they've come, Arsenal, so far to scoring. It's got the travelling Arsenal fans going. That's lovely control by Timber down the right side. Plays it into Trossard. Hounded there by Ndidi, but one back fairly, said the referee, is Ayew now on the break of the ball. Jordan Ayew's got options. Comes in field. Ayew tries to feed it through. Vardy flicks it back to El Kanouche. El Kanouche now. Out wide it goes to Koulibaly. Chops it back to Ndidi. Whips it across. Block. Falls to El Kanouche in the box. El Kanouche with bodies in the way. And wins a corner off Declan Rice there. Much better from Leicester. Fabulous little football from Leicester down that right side. Trossard is in a bit of a, not a comfortable position at the moment, a bit of a hobbling back to his own box there. That all comes from Ndidi winning the ball back on the edge of his own box, and Leicester stride forward and win a corner up the other end. Christensen to take. This is actually Leicester's first corner of the match. Christensen to take, left-footed, looping, back post. Akoli battling with Partey, winning the battle. Bring the ball down, finds Ayew. Ayew breaks away from Nwaneri, lifts it in, fizzes it back post. Rice back into the mix, away by Timber. And recovered there by Koulibaly, who will get it back to his goalkeeper in Hermansen. Header won by Timber, flicked on by Ndidi in behind for Vardy against Saliba here. Saliba having to thump it long. Up in the air. Ayew was battling. Christensen wins the ball off of Nwaneri. Christensen chips it across the box, but well claimed by David Raya on the cross. Much better from Leicester. Much more open this game now. Odegaard. Space to break. Lays it off to Lewis Skelly, who swings it round the corner, but no one there in red. Leicester will get the throw. One thing that Arsenal can't really do is allow Leicester to try and swing the momentum of this game and get the crowd in, get the crowd up, get the game turning in their favour. They've shown little glimpses of promise today, Leicester, and look solid at the back. It's a dangerous combination if you're Arsenal and not having found the net yet. That's when you're ever so possibly vulnerable to coming on the end of a bit of a shock. But a long way to go and a lot of the game still to play. Timber to take this throw in. Down the line to Nwaneri. Try to flick it on, but Christensen just got in the way of him. And Ayew on the turn. That was a nice turn to find Soumare, who gives the ball away cheaply there. And now Odegaard in the box. Ball. Tried to get it back to Hermansen, and Vass had to take evasive action as there was Arsenal players flooding into the box there. Cheap giveaway by Soumare. Trossard finds Odegaard. Odegaard's ball then blocked by two Leicester players, and the two defenders there, and then Vass had to take evasive action, and from the resulting corner, it was taken short. Ethan Nwaneri's won a free kick for Arsenal. Yeah, a little bit late there from Victor Christensen. Is a foul and a free kick in a very, very dangerous area. I think they're going to make changes shortly as well, the visitors. 25 minutes to go. Leicester 0, Arsenal 0. This is a crucial point in this game. This is a good chance. A decent opportunity. Very good area. Martin Odegaard looking to deliver. He's in conversation with Gabriel, maybe trying to figure out where to find him from this free kick. Let's see what they'll try and do here, Arsenal, from this set piece. Everybody in blue in the box for Leicester. Nearly everybody in red for Arsenal. It's all hands on deck for both sides at the moment. Odegaard to deliver. Whips it round the back. Header won well by Koulibaly, but kept alive by Arsenal as Nwaneri's shot well blocked. Timber takes it on the turn. Turns back inside again. Has to give it back to Gabriel. Now down the left it comes. There's Skelly, a bit low on his cross. Clears it away, does Ayew. And Saliba's header wasn't actually convincing at all, because Vardy's picked it up here. And Leicester have bodies flooding forward. Jamie Vardy on the move. Vardy! Well, closed down by Thomas Partey. Fabulous recovery by Partey there, as Vardy was looking to have a bit of a party on the counter-attack there for Leicester. That's a committed challenge by Ayew. Fairly won. Decordova-Reid. Shot straight at David Raya. A lot of pace on it, but straight at the goalkeeper. Couple of those opportunities for Leicester. Still a major threat to this Arsenal side at this moment in time. Rice. A lot more needle. Goalmouth action, shall we say, in this second half. And Nwaneri takes on Christensen, gets it across. Bobbling ball. Fabulously controlled by Soumare on the edge of his own box as Rice was looking to threaten. Oh, that's given away by Decordova-Reid cheaply there. And Koulibaly can't win it back as Raya retrieves. Partey. Odegaard. Last quarter of the game. Still goalless. Timber. Cross to Odegaard. Driving into space, Martin Odegaard. Not given the time to shoot. Finds Lewis Skelly. Lays it off to Sterling. Raheem Sterling down the left side. Koulibaly has his number again. And he does well calmly there, Woyo Koulibaly. Decordova-Reid into Canoose. And Ndidi fires it into the path of Vardy. Slightly got the better of Saliba for a second there, but Saliba striding forward and winning the foul off Bobby Decordova-Reid. Free kick to Arsenal. Again, Leicester so much more competitive. Arsenal upping the tempo, but Leicester matching it once again. Sterling's going to make way here for Arsenal. So change to the front line once again for the Gunners. And Mikel Merino's coming on. So I will try and figure out what the hell that actually means for Arsenal. Maybe Odegaard will jump into the front three. Who knows? We'll see. Odegaard takes this free kick short. Here's Trossard. Lifts it in. A bit low. Cleared away by Ayew. Back involved with Nwaneri. Here's Merino. Now Partey. Into the box, Odegaard. Again, there's no space whatsoever for Arsenal trying to exploit. Gabriel. Nwaneri trying to turn away into space. Lewis Skelly now. Wide to Rice. Again, has to come back in field. Leicester stifling Arsenal at the moment. Odegaard. Through the lines. Nwaneri with a lovely little flick. But again, all the way seen by Caleb Okoli. And all the way seen out by the Leicester defence. It's just fabulous defending. You've got to give complete credit to Leicester. They've been sensational out of possession today. So stubborn and disciplined defensively. It's just incredible. Really incredible. Arsenal have had no space or time whatsoever all afternoon in front of goal. Timber's chested ball was brought down by Ayew, who was pulled down, but no foul, said the referee. There's a Coley trying to battle back, does win the ball back. Christensen trying to keep it. Ends up putting it out of play inadvertently there, and Arsenal will get the throw. 20 to go here at the King Power. 20 huge minutes for Arsenal in this title race. 20 huge minutes for Leicester in the relegation battle. Crunch point in this game of football. Who thought a Saturday lunchtime game could have so much jeopardy? It looks like Leandro Trossard's gone out to the left, and Merino's just along with Declan Rice in that front line. Ball into the box, and just a little bit too far ahead of Mikel Merino there. Decent opportunity. It's Timber's ball in, right-footed ball into the box, and it's into that corridor danger round the back of the Leicester defence. Coley couldn't reach it, Fast just couldn't, and luckily for Leicester it was just too far ahead of Mikel Merino to try and get any touch to it. That could have been dangerous, very dangerous. As Hermansen gives a cheap ball away straight out for a throw, but from the quick throw from Arsenal, Christensen has it under control now. Although his forward ball was a bit loose. And Vardy comes crashing in on Timber. Reasserting dominance there, Jamie Vardy, the Leicester captain. Certainly not afraid to throw some challenges in Leicester in this second half. That's a fair, clean one from Jamie Vardy, most certainly. Another Arsenal throw taken by Timber, finding Odegaard, but not finding a pass. The Arsenal captain as fast clears away. Saliba, Partey. Oh, on the turn, Partey. That's a lovely bit of play. Oh, that's not great from Merino, though. Gives it away cheaply. Koulibaly. Ndidi. Back to Fass. Now back to Hermansen in the Leicester goal. He will again dart it out to that left channel. One by Timber, up in the air. Comes Sumari, brought down well by Partey, but gives the ball away cheaply now to Ayew. Bit sloppy in possession there. Ayew, space to break down the left. Jordan Ayew in the box. Across back post! Oh my goodness. Lewis Skelly, the hero. He had to get a touch, because it would have been a tap in round the back if he didn't. Cheap giveaway by Partey in the midfield. One down the left by Jordan Ayew. Lots of space down that left side. He gets it across the 6-yard box. Raya couldn't reach. No one in Arsenal could reach, but Miles Lewis Skelly at the back post. That little toe poke took it away from De Cordova-Reid. It will be a Leicester corner, but that was crucial to deny Leicester the opening goal. That would have been a tap-in for De Cordova-Reid. Christensen with the corner. Left-footed delivery. Flicked on, brought down. Flicked across. Cleared away by William Saliba. There's no doubting Leicester are still a threat here. No doubting whatsoever. Well, Leicester have lost their last 4 Premier League home matches without scoring a goal. Only Sheffield Wednesday in the 1919-20 season, Birmingham in the 1921-22 season, and Norwich in 1920 season have ever lost 5 in a row at home with no goals on the score sheet for them in the same top-flight campaign. If Leicester lose today without scoring, they will equal that record. Not real stat to talk about, but it was a stat. Steffi Mavadidi's coming on for Leicester. Jordan Ayew, who's on a yellow card, and created what would have been the biggest moment for Leicester of the game so far. He's coming off. Some fresh legs down that left side for Leicester, with Steffi Mavadidi coming on, who impressed last season in the Championship. Hasn't really had his chance to get going in the Premier League this season. Steffi Mavadidi has scored 3 Premier League goals though this campaign. Last goal came in a 2-1 defeat away at Villa on the 4th of January. His last Leicester goal was in a 6-2 win in the FA Cup. But all three of his goals, Steffi Mavididi, have come in games where Leicester haven't won. They've drawn 2 and lost the other, which he has scored. Double change here from Arsenal as well. Partey and Lewis Skelly have come off. And they've been replaced by Jorginho and Calafiori. So changes afoot for both sides at the moment. Jorginho and Calafiori on for Arsenal. A bit of defensive solidity as well. But and then the change in attack for Leicester with Steffi Mavididi coming on for Jordan Ayew. So some more changes for both sides as we enter the final 15 minutes here at the King Power. Late winner on the cards, is there, for either of these two? Merino, lovely takedown and flicks it on for Rice on the run. Leicester with bodies flooding back, but Nwaneri's on his own here at the moment. Nwaneri! Off this post, I believe. Oh! Wow! Will be a corner to Arsenal from the rebound. Where did that come from? Ethan Nwaneri unleashes one in the box. Absolutely clatters off the right post. And I think Mads Hermansen was... I don't know if he got a touch to it or not. But if he did, it was minimal. Because the post took a full whacking there from that shot. From Nwaneri. He's hit the woodwork for the second time this afternoon from that. He will get another corner to deliver here though, Nwaneri. Whipped in. Left-footed, deep to the back post. Flicked away by Leicester. And there's a foul anyway in the mix. Going Leicester's way anyway. Trossard committing that one at the front post. Free kick Leicester. I don't think Leicester have made the most of or Arsenal have made the most of their set pieces today. If I had to be honest, 7 corners to Leicester's 2. So Leicester will get a free kick here, and the clock's ticking down, but I'm sure both managers still looking for the winner. I think obviously Arsenal more than Leicester, but Leicester wouldn't say too bad to a draw against one of the top teams in the country, but at the same time they've a little bit of a chance to try and take all 3. Because they've certainly had chances against Arsenal. Question is, surely Leicester's first and foremost task is just trying to keep Arsenal out again for as long as they possibly can and try their ever best to stop them from scoring. It will be hard as ever, but they've done it so far. Declan Rice trying to get Arsenal forward to change that fact, but that's fabulous from Koulibaly again. Really good defending, and he actually gets caught as he tried to break forward there and is caught in a bit of a precious area, shall I say. Yeah, just kind of absolutely whacked there by Calafiori. Taking no prisoners, the Italian. And held back to his feet there, Warrior Koulibaly, who's done well since coming in for James Justin in the first half. Has looked very compact, very collected around that back for Leicester, around that backside, down the right back position so far. Certainly held his own. Long throw, flicked on there by Leicester down the line by Ndidi, and the ball had just crossed the line of play there by Arsenal as they tried to head it forward, and it will be a Leicester throw again further up the fields. James Justin's in a boot on the sidelines, so that's not a nice thing for Leicester to see, those Leicester fans. Another throw in flicked on by Ndidi, and another header out by Arsenal. Another throw to Leicester down the right side. Edging their way forward up the pitch for these throw-ins are Leicester. Koulibaly to take it again, long throw up the line again. Headed out of, kept in this time from the Arsenal header. Ndidi through the lines. El Kanouche now with space to break. El Kanouche lays it off to Mavididi. Steffi Mavididi in the box. Trying to dribble his way through. Took on too many. And players in red and white in the way. Odegaard striding away for Arsenal here. Looking to return the favour. Timber, nice ball infield. Shot back on the ball. Finding Odegaard as he was taken down there, Timber. The referee plays advantage. Odegaard. Calafiori now. Trossard. Back infield to Jorginho, who will chip it over the top. Away by Okoli, not fully cleared. Rice kept it alive. Now Timber. Now Waneri into the box round the corner. Flick on header. It's in! Great goal. Mikel Merino breaking the deadlock for Arsenal. The goal they have been hunting for 80 minutes. And the deadlock finally broken. Leicester's incredibly stubborn and disciplined defence breached once again. Ever so close to getting to the desired result, Leicester. But Arsenal in a title race need these types of performances, need this type of conviction to the very end. And Mikel Merino's goal could be the difference on the day. Really good work, keeping the pressure on. Okoli's field clearance kept the pressure on Dead Rice. Timber fed it wide to Waneri, and Waneri's ball has been excellent all afternoon. He's been so unlucky, Ethan Waneri, not to have had a goal contribution, but now he does. His great cross into the box, header well past Hermansen, lovely goal, and Mikel Merino breaks the deadlock for Arsenal. And now the title race could take a swing. It could take a big swing. Leicester 0, Arsenal 1. Huge goal. What a goal. And what a huge moment for Arsenal. I mean, absolutely heart-wrenching for Leicester. The game's not over. Heart-wrenching for them. Big moment. Mikel Merino, the substitute, seemingly making the difference on the day. His third Premier League goal of the season for Arsenal, and it could be his most important of the season for Arsenal. He scored against Liverpool, and now he could have scored a goal. It's a bit of pressure on Liverpool. It's not over yet though. Now his name is being sung by those travelling Arsenal fans. He could be the difference maker today for Arsenal. A difference that could catapult them back into the mix with Liverpool again in this title race. And maybe the title race could take a swing. Although here come Leicester again. Koulibaly in the box. Across to Samari. Now out wide again. El Khanous. Bodies in there. Lots of Arsenal bodies in the way. El Khanous tries to take on his man. Gets the ball across. Floated into the box. Oh, no one could take a clean touch as Timber got it away. And now Odegaard striding forward for Arsenal again. Lays it off now to Merino. No massive hurry. He will recycle it back to Rice. That was close from Leicester again. His body's piling up, just queuing up the back post to hit it. None of the three of them could get a touch on it. Jorginho. Odegaard. Trossard. Now Rice. Rolls it down the left to Trossard. Now through to Calafiori. Well blocked by Fass. That's good defending. Kept the ball in play too. And Fass will send it long. Targeting Vardy. Saliba with a very convincing header there. Bit of a cheap pass by Merino. But Odegaard holds off his man. And they're just going to have to stop the play here as Sumari went down, holding his head. Well, what does that mean for the title and the title race at this stage of the season? Well, it means if Arsenal do win today, it will mean they will have closed the gap on Liverpool to just 4 points at the top of the Premier League table. We will show you that live table now. This is the way it looks. Liverpool leading the way on 57. But Arsenal, 53 points if they hold on to win here against Leicester. Liverpool, of course, play tomorrow, so they will have a chance to respond to whatever happens today and look to open that gap again. But maybe a feeling that a little bit of pressure might be piling on Liverpool if Arsenal do get this victory, and maybe just test Liverpool with that little bit of extra pressure on them in trying to respond to what Arsenal have done today. As Waneri went down, but not a foul to the referee as Mavididi breaks away and try to break away from Jorginho, and is going to get a yellow card there, Jorginho, and a free kick will come Leicester's way. Jorginho a bit aggrieved, and he felt that Waneri was pulled down the other end, but no foul on that occasion, said the referee. And Jorginho gets himself a booking for taking out Steffi Mavididi. Less than 5 minutes to go at the King Power, plus the additional time. Leicester 0, Arsenal 1. And a chance for Leicester to try and get the ball into the box. El Khanous and Christensen over it again on this this left side, for Leicester. Christensen's delivery into the box, up in the air it goes. Header won by Gabriel the second time. Kept alive by Buonanotte, who's just entered the field of play. Buonanotte, there's an Arsenal man on the floor. Referee again said no foul as the ball swung out to Mavididi, who tried to guide it across goal, but Saliba was there to clear. Kept alive by Christensen. Leicester trying to apply a little bit of late pressure here. El Khanous, now Christensen. He tried to get the cross in, well blocked by Jorginho and Odegaard there. Odegaard, oh, lovely through ball. Threaded beautifully through to Calafiori now, breaking the Leicester lines. Now fed on to Trossard. It's got Merino in the box. Trossard trying to find Mikel Merino! 2-0! Game over! Mikel Merino is certainly the difference maker for Arsenal. Another goal! And surely, now, the 3 points are heading to North London. It will all started with Odegaard's threaded through ball. Calafiori to Trossard, and Trossard knew Merino was waiting, and Merino took his goal for the second time this afternoon. He doubles Arsenal's lead, and he doubles his tally for the day. Leicester 0, Arsenal 2, and the points will be heading back down south, and Arsenal will close that gap to Liverpool at the top to 4 points. It's just fabulous play by Arsenal. Leicester not good enough in trying to stop it, but from Arsenal's point of view, absolutely ruthless Mikel Merino. 2 goals when they needed it most, and that is what you call a super sub. Mikel Merino. Incredible. Incredible for Arsenal. Game they're expected to win, and they are. Possible Leicester upset could have been on the cards for a while, but once again, Leicester failing to do the business at the right end of the pitch and failing to keep it out at the back as a poison chalice in the Premier League against any opponent. And I think we'll see a lot more blue in the stands, and all those blue seats emptying with such a late moment. Trossard was replaced there as well a moment ago by Arsenal. Tierney was brought on late here, so another change for the Gunners. This will be tough for Leicester to take. They've fought so hard for 80 minutes. Gave their all. That header by Buonanotte well wide. But they've given their all. They've done everything they possibly could. But when you're playing a top team in the Premier League, you need to give it all for 90 plus. Leicester maybe just drop below the level as they edge closer to what would be a great result for them of a draw. But it's the Arsenal fans that are celebrating. and the Arsenal fans that still believe they're in a title race, and the points and the table will prove that. They're still 4 points behind Liverpool, even with a win here. But if Liverpool win tomorrow, the points will be back to 7. Arsenal having to hope that they can match or better Liverpool's result every weekend now until the end of the season, because that's the only way they're going to keep themselves on battle and on terms, and at least on par with Liverpool, because they need to outperform them for a lot of the weekends to come if they're going to have any chance. 4 out of minutes then at the end of the 90. 4 more minutes for Arsenal to just keep this game, manage it to the end. As Rice is in a bit of pain there, he's okay to continue at the moment, is Declan Rice. Well, what do you think about Leicester? At the moment, this will be their 9th defeat in 11 Premier League games for Ruud van Nistelrooy's team. They were outside the bottom 3 when they sacked Steve Cooper, brought Ruud van Nistelrooy in, and now find themselves inside the bottom 3 and a possibility of being cut adrift come the end of the weekend if results go against them, and under real relegation pressure. They weren't expected to win this game, of course, but for a lot of it, they were competitive. It will be the next number of games that will test Leicester's season, and whether they will be relegation battlers or not, or whether they will be condemned back to the Championship. They've got Brentford at home on Friday night to come. Then they head to West Ham a week later before they head to Chelsea and Manchester United after that. The next number of games will be huge. But for Arsenal, they've not got an easy run of fixtures to come. They've got a London derby against West Ham. They then head to Nottingham Forest. After that will be a huge game before the end of the month, before they then head to Manchester United and face Chelsea in their next couple. So a couple of difficult ones for Arsenal on the horizon. Leicester have a corner late in this game. They might have a consolation chance here. 2 minutes to go. Chance for maybe a consolation goal for Leicester. Bit of a stoppage there. Don't forget Liverpool Wolves tomorrow 2 o'clock on LFS. We will round up. We will have the full details of all of today's matches tomorrow on our double header. I will also have the full results of those games on our socials a bit later on this evening for you as well to keep an eye on. But Liverpool Wolves is our next game. Another title race battle. Liverpool try and respond to Arsenal and what they've done here at the King Power. Corner for Leicester, left hand side, whipped in, and David Raya will gather comfortably, saw it all the way and brought it down comfortably under no real duress there, the Arsenal goalkeeper. Mikel Merino with both goals. But you gotta say, what an afternoon for the 17-year-old Ethan Nwaneri. If Arsenal were to find goals, and which they have of course, they opened the scoring when he whipped the ball in, and it was always going to be that case. It was always going to be that Ethan Nwaneri was the difference maker today. Even in the first half, when they were struggling for chances, he was their best player on the field, Ethan Nwaneri. And he was the key to unlocking the Leicester defence today, finding Mikel Merino in the box. Mavididi arriving in the box. Shot headed away by Gabriel Christensen. 4 minutes are up as Raya punches away. And Soumare doesn't get the ball. Now a chance for Arsenal to get a third on the cards here. Odegaard feeding through. Lays it off to Declan Rice, who actually let it run. And Soumare can just mop up. And that is the final whistle. They left it late, Arsenal, but the job was done come the end of the 90. 2 goals from Mikel Merino in the final 10 minutes means Arsenal keep the pressure on Liverpool at the top of the Premier League table. Merino the hero from the bench, the super sub for the Gunners at the King Power Stadium. Leicester held their own and gave them a few scares at times throughout the game. But Arsenal again find a way to get it done. And it's a big game, a big result for Arsenal, because they've got some big games to come and a lot of hard work to do if they're going to win this Premier League title. Liverpool still stand clear, 4 points of Arsenal. Can be 7 come this time tomorrow if Liverpool beat Wolves. But Arsenal, all they can do is keep winning and hope that Liverpool don't. That's all they can hope for, and they've got one step closer here this weekend. Mikel Merino with both goals. Ruud van Nistelrooy's torrid run at Leicester continues. 2 wins in 11. 9 defeats. 9 defeats in their last 11 Premier League games for Leicester. Surely they are really looking down the barrel of heading back down to the Championship. But Arsenal, they're looking up, and they've only got one above them, and they're 4 points clear. Great day for Arsenal in the end, and what could have been a tricky fixture, but they get the job done. Final score at the King Power Stadium: Leicester City 0, Arsenal 2. And there you are, Arsenal 2-0 winners. Oh wait, Leicester, Brighton 3-0 winners against Chelsea last night. And 6 more Premier League games to come your way before the end of this afternoon. And we'll have full results of all of this afternoon's fixtures and results coming your way later this evening when they happen. Let's have a look at the table quickly before we leave you then. So Liverpool still lead the way. They're still 4 points clear and still better goal difference than Arsenal, and have still to play this weekend. So there's still a lot of positives for Liverpool to take, and the fact that they're still quite comfortably ahead of Arsenal. But Arsenal keep the pressure on the league leaders, getting that 15th win of the season today. 53 points, 4 points of difference, but it can be back to 7 tomorrow. Right, that's it for us this afternoon. Don't forget, tomorrow we head to Anfield as Liverpool look to respond to Arsenal's victory today, as Liverpool take on a relegation battler in Wolves at Anfield tomorrow at 2. That's the first of our double header as Tottenham take on Manchester United as well. But for now, have a great rest of your Saturday, and we'll be back for a double header of the Premier League tomorrow. Bye bye.